everyone's first podcast, where we decode real growth, not just motivational stuff. I'm Harsh, and today we are diving into something most of us feel every day, but barely understands that is our nervous system, right? And joining me is someone who's literally building bridges between trauma, healing, and nervous system regulation. Say hi to Joudy.
Hi, everyone. So excited to be here and to share this information with you.
That's a pleasure. So to the viewers, Joudy isn't someone who just talks about nervous system. She lives and breathes this work. She is currently based in the breathtaking Madeira Islands and is being trained by the cutting-edge neurosomatic program by the ICF. So if you have ever caught yourself stuck between hustle and shutdown, this episode is going to feel like a deep breath of clarity. So, Jody, let's start simple. Everyone hears nervous system these days, but what exactly is it? Uh, and why should a
Yeah.
22-year-old student or a 28-year-old hustling founder even care about it?
Yeah. So your nervous system, it's your body's survival mechanism. So your nervous system main job is to keep you alive at all costs. So it creates every thought you have, every action, every behavior, every emotion. So basically, it creates your entire reality. So when you think about that, that's like the main reason why you should care about it, right? Like it's running the whole show, it's running your life. And if you don't learn how to drive this vehicle, it will drive your life on autopilot, basically. So that's why everyone should care about this. And there's not one single human on earth will not benefit from it. Everyone can benefit from this work.
Yeah. Right. I mean, yeah, that was a great explanation about it. So it's like operating system behind all the overthinking, shutdowns, even burnouts, which I think also brings me to my next question. So getting into a little bit of technical terminology now. So why do we hear terms like polyvagal theory and regulation thrown around so often now?
Yes. So polyvagal theory came out in 1994, which is basically very new in terms of science, like science years. And what it means is like, so basically it's a neuroscience-based theory, okay? And it explains how your nervous system responds to cues of safety and cues of danger. So it helps you understand and track your body's reaction, especially under stress. And now we know that 80% of the information comes from our body to our mind, not the other way around. So that's why we need to work with the body now that we know how our body works and that we receive more information from the body to the mind. And in polyvagal theory, we actually have three main states. There are 6 states, but there are 3 main ones. One is safe and social. The other one is fight or flight. And the last one is shutdown. So usually we move through these states, we go in and out of these states. And ideally, we want to flow between these states without getting stuck in one of these states. Because what happens, some people get stuck into shutdown or in the fight or flight state. And actually, each state can change your energy levels. It can change how you perceive time. It can change your emotions, your thoughts, your behaviors. So yeah, we need to understand in which state we are in, so we know how to deal with that situation when we move into these states. So I can explain about each state just a little bit to give you a sense of it. So for example, in safe and social state, that's when you have the right amount of energy. You feel present, you feel relaxed, you're clear, you're creative, you're focused, you feel joy, you're open, and you're connected and you're social. And the fight or flight, you feel like there's too much energy, there's a need for speed. That's when we feel like a lot of rushing, like everything is urgent. We need to get things done now. And you can feel a lot of pressure building up, like inside of you. Maybe there's like racing heart, shallow breath. Your thoughts are scattered. You feel anxious, angry. Maybe you also experience panic attacks, a lot of anxiety and anxious thoughts. You can also be defensive, impulsive, and reactive. So yeah, that's not a nice state to be in. That's when you experience like survival mode. right? And now we have the shutdown state. That's when you have low energy, you feel disconnected, time feels foggy or frozen, you can feel numb, heavy, no motivation, you feel hopeless, emptiness, apathy. You also feel like you want to isolate yourself, you don't want to take any actions, and you want to withdraw. And also, this is when we experience burnout and even depression. So yeah, and the truth is a lot of people are living in survival mode and in fight or flight mode, which is that survival mode, or dorsal vagal shutdown. So that's like, they're completely shut down or burned out or depressed. So we need to ideally live in the safe and connected state, but not a lot of people are living in that state.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's really relatable, I would say, because how I see survival mode is, I imagine it like a person sitting in a jungle, right? And while you are in a forest, let's say, you are always attentive for each and everything that is happening around you. There shouldn't be a snake. There shouldn't be a tiger attacking you, right? So I think that's
Yeah.
where that is where the word survival mode comes in, I think. So yeah, I mean, people don't realize. I mean, I would say for a very long period in my own life, I have been in a position where I was in the survival mode, and the effects of it are long lasting. Even after you are in the safe space, these things don't really don't go that smooth, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, with the way you explained all these states, I think most of the viewers are gonna relate to it, because
Yeah,
everybody
very.
understands what it means, and nobody cares to do anything about
Yeah. It's so wild when you think about it, that this nervous system is basically like a vehicle. If
it.
you don't take control of it, it will literally drive your life on autopilot. So it's so important to understand it and work with it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to achieve the goals that you want. You're not going to be able, and even if you achieve the goals, you're not going to be able to enjoy them because you're always doing it from a place of stress and overwhelm and pressure. And that's not a well-lived life, in my opinion. Like, there's a lot of people, they built like even million-dollar companies, like millions and a lot of money, but they do it from the survival mode. Whereas you could do things from the safe and connected mode. This is when you could truly enjoy and be present. And, you're not like constantly wired. You're trying to relax, but your mind is wired. You're like constantly thinking and overthinking and planning. You're not really in the moment. So it feels like life is a blur. So that can also happen. Yeah, it's basically like this is the foundation for everything in life. And this will become very common knowledge because right now we're still in the early adopter stage, like people, not like everyone knows about it, but now even businesses are implementing it, like in sales, and like they're bringing more awareness to the nervous system. They're also becoming more trauma informed because they're realizing how much this affects us, and even it affects like how to deal with the clients, with the customers. So yeah, some leaders are already bringing this work into their companies, which is so exciting.
Right. I think it also comes into picture in such a way that, I mean, you are a if you're a mentally healthy leader, then you not only improve your own productivity, but also the people working under you. As a result, the whole company, the whole entity can perform better. So
Exactly. Yeah.
if this problem of nervous system unawareness is being solved at the topmost tier of the company, I think that is where the change can happen actually in real life, isn't it?
Yeah.
So okay,
Yeah.
now let's talk about something real. I think many people are going through that right now. What about
Yeah.
when you can't get out of bed, or you are zoning out during work, and you tell yourself that I'm just lazy? What's really happening there?
Yes. So before we dive into that, I need to explain a concept.
Right.
So there's something called neuroception, and this is part of the automatic nervous system, autonomic nervous system. Yeah. So basically, this nervous system automatically puts you in survival mode without you even thinking about it. So neuroception is like your body's threat detector. So it's always scanning for danger. You don't have to think about it. It does this automatically. But the
Okay.
problem is it's not always accurate. So it can misread safe things as dangerous. So this is what we called perceived danger. So this is why we need to work with the body to teach it that, hey, this is not dangerous. This is actually safe. Because, like I said, it can misread things. And what happens when it misreads these things, it's automatically putting you into these survival modes. And this is when you feel like you're procrastinating, you feel there's self-doubt, self-sabotage, and laziness. So basically, these are the symptoms, not the root cause. So the root cause is your body thinking that, oh, this is dangerous. I'm going to put you in survival mode. And then you experience the symptoms of like procrastination, self-doubt, self-sabotage, perfectionism, or not being able to get things done, not being able to get out of bed. So yeah, it's very important to understand that these are not flaws in you. These are symptoms of the nervous system trying to protect you.
Okay. So it's more like the way we are programming our own mind, right? Or nervous system, I would say.
It's like when you start regulating your nervous system, automatically these bad patterns, they start to dissolve on their own. So you need to focus on bringing back your nervous system into safety. So we need to move it out of survival mode into safety. And we can do this in many ways. And we will get to it in this episode. But yeah, it's very important to understand that the root cause is your nervous system, not your mindset. Because we're taught to like, oh, I need to work on my beliefs. And if I work on my beliefs, then I can achieve this. Then I won't procrastinate. Then I won't self-sabotage. But you're only working on the symptom. And working on the symptom will not solve the root cause. You need to work on the root cause, which is the nervous system.
Right. Also, I feel when somebody is in the survival mode, they are actually putting more energy than they should be into life.
Oh yes. Oh yes. They're using so much energy that they could use actually to achieve their goals and build beautiful lives. But instead, this energy is not being used properly because it takes a lot of energy to be in survival mode. That's when you have a lot of energy. Like when you're in the sympathetic, like the fight or flight, this mechanism is usually used to flee like from real danger, right? Like from an animal or like you said, snake or whatever. But now we're using this energy every day and it's pumping so much adrenaline and cortisol and all these things when we're not supposed to use this unless we're in actual danger. But now an email is dangerous, like an email or traffic or needing to get things done. That is creating as if, like we talked, perceived danger, as if we're being chased by a lion, but actually we're not in danger. And that's why we need to reteach our bodies to feel safe again. So it doesn't see these normal things that we have in our daily life as dangerous. And so we can use our energy properly.
Right. Actually, when we talk about the survival mode and the examples that you took, it reminds me of a friend. So he was my childhood friend, and he once told me that he's in a sort of mental state where he thinks that anybody who talks to him is a spy. I was just so shocked about it. Like, why would he be thinking to that level? Like, he's not someone who has some national secrets or something, right?
Yeah.
And still, why would he think that the person who is coming and being friendly to him, he is actually a spy? He's coming to spy on him. So the examples that you took, I think that is also where it connects a lot because I mean, yeah, that's a survival mode. So much energy getting into that unnecessarily.
Yeah, unnecessary. Exactly. We're not using our life force properly, and it's a shame. Because also, like what happens, your body literally stops you. But what happens, you get literally stuck. Let's say some people, they want to achieve something, but they feel there's so much resistance and they get stuck. So not everyone, some people, especially people who experience trauma, because their nervous system is stopping them because it doesn't think it's safe for them. So what happens, people keep going into these circles. They try hard, they try hard, they try hard. They try their hardest, but they still can't do it because they can't override their nervous system survival mechanism. You can't override it. No matter how hard you try, you need to work with it, not override it. You need to understand it so you know how to work with it. But if you don't understand it, you try to override it in a way that doesn't work. Like we said, like working on the mindset part, which doesn't work. Yeah.
So it's like instead of controlling it, you need to be friends with it.
Yes. Oh my God, you said it perfectly. We need to befriend it. We need to understand it. It's like showing this nervous system like a friend, like showing it, it's safe. And there are so many ways to do it. And I can't wait to share how to do it. But yeah, it's befriending it and understanding it and loving it, not like, hating it, like, oh, you're not letting me do this. I have this mechanism and it's stopping me and it's annoying. No, actually, we need this survival mechanism because it's such a beautiful thing that we have. Because imagine, like, if a lion attacks, okay, you're in actual danger. You need the survival mechanism to run away, otherwise you won't be able to run away. And
Exactly.
when you shut down, so there's two, right? Like the one when you shut down, it's when you can't run away. So instead of you experiencing pain, it shuts you down. So it's such a good mechanism that we have. It's trying to protect us to not feel pain, and we need to appreciate that and understand that.
Right. I think survival mode allows you to go beyond your physical abilities at times, and that's
Yes.
only when it is needed. Now, that's the thing. I think that's what we were just discussing about. And like when you're surpassing your own physical abilities at that moment, you're using so much of energy. And if you're constantly being in that state, I mean, you're just putting that energy for nowhere, for literally no
Yes.
reason.
Yeah, and it can create like havoc on our organs because we're not meant to have this much stress and chemicals pumping through our bodies.
Hmm.
This is when people can experience like mysterious physical illnesses, like things that the doctor can't explain, like autoimmune diseases and other things, like even depression. Like some people, they even tell them you're not. You are depression resistant, like they give them medication and you're like, oh, we can't heal you, like this medication doesn't work. But anyways, like this is how we create these physical chronic illnesses and mental illnesses, like people who think they have chronic anxiety, or they start believing like this is who I am, it's all because they don't understand the root cause, they don't understand the nervous system. All of these things can be healed and will go away once we start understanding our bodies and work with the nervous system.
Right. So, if I'm understanding it right, the healthy state is the first state that you told about. Now, if we see the other two, um, while you are in survival mode, you are using so much of energy. While you are in
Yeah.
shutdown, is it a sign that your body is actually trying to save your energy because you have already used so much of it?
Yeah, so this is when you want to conserve energy. This is often when people experience burnout. It's like, like your body is saying, that's it, you're doing too much, we can't take this anymore. It puts on the brake and you experience burnout, you experience a crash because your body can't take it anymore and it needs to conserve energy. So
Mhm.
that's usually, people go into like the fight or flight for so long. People can live decades in the states,
Mhm.
which is really bad. And then when the body can't take it anymore, that's when it puts you into this shutdown state. That's when people experience depression, they experience burnout, they can't get out of bed, they feel like, what's the point? Yeah, it's very like important to understand how our bodies work.
So basically, it's not laziness. It's basically you conserving your energy because it has been misused so much.
Yes, and this is when you need to rest and restore. You need to start regulating. You need to bring back yourself from the shutdown or the survival mode into safety. So there are things that you can do, of course, but basically your body is telling you, I need to rest, and you need to listen. You can't keep pushing it. And
Right.
people forget that they need their bodies to get to where they want in life. Oftentimes we're living from the head up, right? We're all disconnected from our bodies. I used to be one of these people. We're just living in our heads. We
Right.
completely ignore our bodies.
Hmm.
We ignore that our bodies need to rest. We don't care. We just want to achieve our goals. I want to do this. I want to go have fun. I want to party. And we forget. We don't listen. We are disconnected. We're disembodied. And what we need to do is reconnect with our bodies. We need to listen to our bodies. So when your body says, I need to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. I need to drink water, drink water. It literally starts with just doing these small things. If your body says, I need to nap, please go nap. Don't tell me I don't like to nap. I don't believe in naps. Just go nap. If you're hungry, eat. Like we need to respect what
Listen
our
to your
bodies
body.
are saying.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. And a lot of people have like these routines and have like, oh, I'm doing intermittent fasting, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And they completely ignore their body's impulses. But your body is sending you signals all the time. It's telling you what it needs. It's telling you, I need to eat, I need to rest. And if you keep ignoring that year after year after year, that's why the body is going to be like, you know what, I had enough. I'm going to put on the brakes. Now I'm going to force you to slow down through an illness, through a burnout, through, not being able to get out of bed because you didn't listen all this time and it needs to rest. Like you can't, we need to rest, like basically. Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, that's a relief, honestly. I know so many people who carry shame for something that's just a body response. And
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it hits deep. It hits deep.
Yeah. I can completely relate to that because when I was living in survival mode for such a long time, I sometimes used to think like something is wrong with me because sometimes I would feel resistance. I can't achieve my goals. I would feel like I'm procrastinating. I would feel self-sabotage. But when I understood that these are symptoms and they can easily be worked out, not like, when you do mindset work, it's very difficult to change because you're working with the symptoms. But when you actually work with the nervous system, you will see amazing shifts relatively quickly. Like it's amazing how gentle yet powerful this work is. And yeah, it's a relief. It is a relief because nothing is wrong with you. You're not damaged. You just don't understand your body. And it's okay if you didn't know this information till now. Like we said, this came out in 1994. But when you know that this exists, now it's your responsibility to say like, okay, I know this knowledge exists. I need to understand it. I need to implement whatever I can because this is controlling my life. Like this nervous system is the vehicle that controls my life. So now it's up to you to decide, I want to be part of this or I want to ignore this.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Or a lot of sense altogether. Okay, so now let's get into some solutions. So very often we say that regulation is before mindset. I think that's one thing that you also follow a lot. That was that more than the mindset, what we look into is how we are regulating our nervous system. So
Yeah.
what does regulation really mean, and how do we start practicing it?
Yeah. So like we said, regulation is shifting out of survival mode and into safety. But the way to do it is very important. Like this piece of information is extremely important, what I'm going to say. Okay. So we need to show our body that we're safe, not tell it. Because most of our life, we tell ourselves, right? I can do this. I can stop procrastination. That it doesn't work this way. We need to show our body because our nervous system doesn't understand verbal language. It understands experiences. Okay, so we need to collect something called disconfirming experience. So what
So
does that mean?
basically, if we are telling the body something instead of making it feel the same, we are actually reinforcing it more.
It doesn't understand it. It's like you're wasting your time. What you need to do, you need to show it. So by collecting safe experiences. So the more you do it, it will start believing like, oh, this is safe. And you do it like one step at a time. You don't just like jump into the deep end because also that can like push you back instead of bringing you forward. So we need to like gently show our nervous system through new safe moments and experiences that the danger is not here anymore. We are safe because because of perceived danger, it sometimes thinks like there's danger. So we need to show it like this is not dangerous and it's okay for us, like for example, to change our career. Changing our career like can be something dangerous to our nervous system, or like taking a new job or moving across countries or even being in a new relationship. All of these things, our nervous system can see them as dangerous. But when we start regulating, let's say before a job interview, that can bring us back into safety. So we show it like, okay, I'm safe. I just did something to bring it into safety. And then that will help you, for example, go through that interview. So yes, there are specific things that we can do. One of them, it's called regulating resources, which is anything that helps your nervous system feel safe, here, good, and grounded. And also we have something called neuro tools, and these are specific techniques that are designed to shift your nervous system out of stress and into regulation. And I can give you some examples of I can give you some examples that will help. So for example, what are regulating resources? Things like taking a walk in nature, if that makes you feel good and present, do that. Listen to music that you enjoy. You can hug someone you trust, someone that makes you feel safe. Even playing with a pet, pets are really good. They can regulate us because we connect with them on a deep level if they make us feel safe. You can step outside and take the sun on your face, or breathe fresh air. You can talk to a friend. You can even a smile from someone that can help you bring you back into like a little bit of safety. If you join a community, that's really important. Joining a community, whether that's online or in person, because we love to feel seen and supported. We need that. We're wired for social connection. So all these things can help you on your daily basis. Like if you do them, they can help you bring you back into safety.
Okay, so it's more like one size is not fitting everybody. So many times, like people just hear about some methods which they feel that's gonna help them. Like for example, journaling. People think that if I just start journaling, it's gonna be great. But if the body is freaking out, it's not gonna help.
Exactly. Wow, like you nailed it. Exactly. It's like that's why meditation is not like a solution for everyone, because when you are in survival mode, like imagine there's a lion chasing you, you're not gonna be like, I'm gonna sit and meditate. Your body's gonna freak out more. I need to run. Like, what are you doing? Let's go. So it will freak out more. So you like there are things based on your state. There are tools that you could do that will help you shift out of safety. For example, when you are in fight or flight, there are certain tools that you do that will help you work with that excessive energy. When you are in shutdown, there are things that you do that will help you start building that energy, because in shutdown, you don't have energy. So it's not like, it's not one thing that you do, it's for everything. It's very like, there's a lot of nuances in it, like you need to really understand what's happening. That's why I believe like working with a coach will help you fast track your progress, because doing this on your own will take you a long time. I was like learning this stuff on my own for such a long time. It's a lot to wrap your head around, because there's a lot of science involved. But once you work with a coach, they can meet you where you are. You don't need to know all these things. The coach meets you where you are. It helps you create that safety which your system needs. So it is like one of the fastest way to actually unlock your full potential and achieve your goals. And it doesn't matter which area in life you're looking for, because this work affects every area of your life, So once you work on the nervous system, all areas of your life are going to improve.
That's
so
great.
about the regulation.
Like...
Yeah, this is just one important thing I need to say, because you mentioned something very important. It's not like one big shift. Okay, we need to do this through repetition. We need to, like, for example, when you start regulating, you need to do this about 15 times a day, but you're doing it like one moment or 2 moments, like you do it, like you take a pause, you regulate. Let's say I take a pause. I'm going to go, just stand at my window and watch the ocean. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel present. I just regulated. Perfect. I'm going to call my friend. I'm going to talk to her and just like have a good laugh. You just regulate it. So do like these things like 15 times a day. It's so easy. It's so joyful. The universe, God, life is telling you, enjoy yourself, relax, do things that makes you feel good. Isn't that like amazing? Honestly, it's amazing. I love it. So think about it. It's like building a muscle. The more you train your nervous system, the stronger and more stable it gets. So this is how you rewire safety in the system, by showing it one moment at a time. I'm safe. I'm enjoying myself. I'm present. I'm good. We are safe. And that's how it builds up.
That's great. That's great. So it's more like creating that awareness with your body.
Yes.
That you understand what is happening. So it's not like just because somebody said you that you should do this, that means that you should go and do that. It's more like when you understand when you need it, at what phase you need it, you should do it at that moment.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You're so good with this stuff. Like, I love how you're picking up on this. Awareness is key. Exactly. You need to always notice what's happening with your body. And it becomes like a natural thing. Like, it's not like, oh, it's such a to notice. It becomes like, part of your life. It's like how you're breathing, how you're walking. Once you start doing it, it's hard to go back, because you will see the benefits. But yeah, but one thing like is really important about this, that when regulating, something amazing happens. Your ability to handle stress will increase. So, usually when we have a lot on our schedule, we stress so much that we get overwhelmed, we shut down, or we do it through so much like an anxiety, right? But when you start regulating, you can increase your capacity. So that means you can increase your ability to handle stress without shutting down. And we all want that, right? Because a lot of us are ambitious, we want to work, we want to achieve. But the good news, you could do that without sacrificing your health, without getting overwhelmed, without burning out. It's all about showing your body it's safe to handle this amount of work. So yeah, life becomes much easier, more enjoyable. You'll be able to handle stress more effectively, and you'll be able to handle life's pressure and navigate challenges with so much ease.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's good news.
Yeah.